Actually, this photo is courtesy of the VA. So this is someone who obviously we're going to learn a lot more about from not only the family who has confirmed his death, but his coworkers, family members, those who loved him in the days that come.
Yes, we will keep that central to our coverage for sure.
Just looking. Yeah, let's go to Adam Duxter, who's been on the ground throughout the morning. And Adam, give us a sense of maybe how some of the vibe has really changed there over the last couple of hours.
Yeah, hi, Derek and company. A relief, I would say, for many here after hours of a tense standoff between federal agents and state patrol and conservation officers. Now we've heard cheering, we've heard clapping, we've heard that and everything else here. And the one thing we have heard from people here is that they don't plan to go anywhere anytime soon. We've seen just about every intersection or every direction at this intersection as you go barricaded. But I want to talk to one person here. Why?
Yeah.
And you have lived here for some time.
Yeah.
Just up the road for a period of time. How would you describe just the way as a Minneapolis resident that you're feeling right now?
Can I describe it not as a Minneapolis resident, but as an American citizen? Thank you. This started as a pretext about immigration and the fraud, whatever. It's well beyond that now. It's into your Second Amendment. It's into your Fourth Amendment. It's into your Sixth Amendment. This is so far beyond what people at home probably are watching going, oh, it's Minneapolis, it's woke Hoth, it doesn't affect me, whatever. It does. It's you. It's you as well now. Wake up. Please watch what's happening here. I feel like we're performing CPR on what may already be a corpse called the Constitution. And yeah, there's plenty of people online laughing at us and going, ha, tryhards. But I think it's worth it, and I hope you do too.
Well, you were saying to me earlier that you were HOA president for a while.
Yeah, I'm the Square community, man. I built real estate document search portal sites for Wells Fargo. I am the Square community, But
you were HOA president Frank and Nick. So this community to happen here, for this to happen here at this intersection on Nicollet in East Street, how do you begin to explain the significance of it happening here today?
I assume it's Kristi Noem's provocation. She saw how much this city hates her clowns, hates her scarecrows, and said, we'll double down. We'll put the boot a little bit harder on the throat.
How long will you stay out here?
Till my balls get cold. Just till it gets too cold. Probably all day, I think, yeah.
And you're one of, I want this crowd to see, thank you, you're one of over 1,000 people. I know we had the chopper out here earlier, but this crowd has no intention of going anywhere here at 26th and Nicollet. And you hear people with cowbells, you hear people banging on drums, you hear people banging on tables. But really, the one thing, as we've talked to many people in this crowd that we hear over and over again, is that they have no intention now of leaving this intersection. We saw it, obviously, when George Floyd was murdered in 2020. You still see the memorial as you drive through George Floyd Square. We saw it the day that Nicole Good was shot and killed just over 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, as the immediate response when the scene was clear was to set up barricades. And essentially, people would say, as they're here, claim the space for themselves. And that's exactly what we've seen happen now at 26th and Nicollet, is barricades up in every direction. There's over 1,000 people here. They're packed in super tight, but many people we've talked to say they have no intention of going anywhere. You heard that gentleman right there say till he gets cold, but many people here say they're not going anywhere anytime soon. And so, again, Derek, going back to your initial question of, how has the vibe shifted? I would say that for a long time today, it was a standoff. It was what's going to happen next. It was deploying chemical irritants and chemical agents. That has stopped. You have seen now anger, frustration, but also people say they're coming together as a community. One last thing I want to point out, though, that I did find interesting is earlier, just a few moments ago, there was a woman up on top of one of those tables with with a megaphone, and she was holding court in the crowd, if you will. Everyone was listening to her. And after she was done, I went up to her and talked to her for a moment, and she talked back and forth, hey, why are you here? And then I said, hey, are you from here in Minneapolis? And she said, no, I'm from Los Angeles, California. And she said, I've been here for 2 days. She said, I'm an activist in LA. And she said, 2 days ago, I came to Minnesota because she said, I knew I had to be here. I think one thing that can't get lost on us in saying that is there are so many people here, whether it's media members or people who have come that are not from Minnesota or not from Minneapolis, but essentially have made what's happening here the cause that they want to champion, that they want to be here for. And so it's interesting when you hear people say, yeah, I'm from Los Angeles, and I just had to be here, because once again, almost 6 years later, it is Minneapolis being the center in some ways of what's happening, not just in Minnesota, but happening in the United States. And I think that as the crowd is kind of silent now, you could potentially even see that continue more. People coming in from all over the country, because this is where the conflict is. And it has been where the conflict has been now for 6+ weeks. We don't know when it's going to end. We don't know how it's going to end. And people who have been maybe watching on their TV or seeing it on their social media say, hey, I can't not do anything. I have to come. I have to be here, and I have to join forces with the people here who are on the ground. So just a truly unique scene. It is still very, very cold. Make no mistake about that. But the crowd here just says they're not going anywhere, and they don't plan on leaving anytime soon.
Adam, we have heard that some local and state law enforcement are sort of backed outside of the perimeter so that they could be called if there was any need for public safety there. Are you able to see that at all, or have you heard that at all, that they're just staying back at this point and allowing this to go on as long as it stays peaceful there?
Derek, one thing to that point, I mean, that's the first I'm hearing of it in the crowd. You can look down 26, you don't see anything there. We were looking north on Nicollet a moment ago, you don't see anything. That doesn't mean that the situation's not being monitored. Last Saturday, we were at Minneapolis City Hall, where someone pardoned from what we saw on January 6th came, and they said they're going to burn a Quran. And as we were out there last Saturday, the one thing people kept saying was, "Where is police?" But then, when there was a conflict, police came really fast. And so all that to say, Derek, is that you don't see anyone out here right now. That doesn't mean they're not watching or not monitoring the situation, right? In Minneapolis, they have many avenues and many means to just keep an eye on the situation. But I can tell you this, Derek, is that if there were to be law enforcement on the scene, I think you would see an immediate confrontation or back and forth, just because of how amped this crowd is still. And we've seen that happen over the course of the last few weeks, where the second law enforcement leaves, things die down as far as those conflict or clashes. But then, should law enforcement come back in, that can start right back up. And I really do think that just picture for a second, there is 1,000+ people here who are really upset. And when that
looks like we're losing Adam's signal there right now. He's
Yeah.
there,
Good
26
recording,
in Nicollet.
A lot of good points.